We're now moving on to our subtraction algorithm in example 2. And we'll just do question A, and all we do is start at the last column like before and we subtract this time. So 7 minus 4 is 3 and 5 minus 1 is 4. So the answer to this one's 43. That's quite a simple one. But as we move along it does get tougher. For instance, when I look at the last column, I can't actually do 5 minus 7 because I'm not supposed to take away a number that is bigger. Now when this happens, you do the borrowing technique. You go to the next column and you go, all right, I'm going to borrow 1 from the 5. Okay, so I'm going to make the 5 into a 4 because I'm borrowing one of the digits, and I'm going to move them across to here, and it now becomes 15. 15 minus 7 is 8. Okay, now moving on to the next column, we've got 4 minus 7. Once again, we can't do that. So we're going to go to the next column and we're going to borrow 1 from the 2. We've got 14 minus 7, which is 7, and 1 minus nothing is 1. So we get 178. Let's move on to question C now. Once again, we can't do 2 minus 5. We've got to borrow 1. But we're faced with a real big problem now because we can't borrow 1 from 0. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move again to the next column and borrow from this one. Alright, so we're going to change the 6 to a 5 and borrow 1, but that one has to go to the 0. And then because we needed to borrow from this column to go to the next column, we're going to borrow 1 from 10, make it 9, and put the 1 next to the 2. Now we can go 12 minus 5 is 7, 9 minus 6 is 3, and 5 minus 1 is 4. Excellent. Now we'll move to question D, which is our most challenging question here. We can't go 3 minus 7, so we need to borrow 1 from the next one. It's got a 0, so we can't. The next one we can't borrow, so we're going to have to go all the way to the end and borrow 1 from the 2. And I'm going to have to keep borrowing a number until I can get it back over to the 3. So we'll change the 10 to a 9 and put a 1 here. And we'll change this 10 to a 9 and carry the 1 across. 13 minus 7 is 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. And 1 minus 1 is 0. But when we get to the very end, we don't write our zeros in. So our answer for there is 436. And that's the end of our video on the subtraction algorithm.